first luxury transformation project in Dubai. And today was the first day of shooting. I'm shooting tomorrow and the next day and next week. And we're creating a four-part series that's going to walk basically anybody through what I'm doing in Dubai, a bunch of the opportunities we saw, and why we finally decided on this one project. And that's the one that our members are actually investing in right now. So it's actually super cool. How many people like that idea? Are you feeling me, Jason? That's pretty cool, right? Camilla, Patrick, it's pretty cool. And it also is a great way to get us access. And the other thing that's really cool is it's a great way for everyone in Dubai to know that we landed and give us some inbound deal flow, which is always good. There's always a method to my madness. And so I'm pumped. I'll be at our property tomorrow that we're investing in. And we actually have a tiny little bit of allocation left. So any new members, I'll be able to show that to you. It won't be that much, so you won't be able to put like 100 grand in on this deal because we just got a little bit left, but you can at least get your beak wet on this one and get ready potentially for the next few deals. So that's what I'm doing. It's crazy busy here. It's winter in Dubai, which means, at night it gets down to a freezing 17 degrees centigrade. My daughter's in Boston right now, and she's sending me pictures of like -4, and she's like, this is winter, not Dubai. So she has a point. I went to school in Boston. It's got some nasty winters. But here, when you have to put a coat on at night, or even a shirt on at night when you go out for dinner, then it's considered cold. And so that's what's happening. Dubai's crazy busy. We know everyone's moving here. We know wealth is migrating here. And that's why we're here, to create this property circle. We've never created a group in our history that's had this much interest and adoption so fast. We literally opened this up, I think 38 days ago. And it's filling up so fast we can barely keep it. And I think we're probably gonna have to cap membership at some point, at least for a year, and just focus on the deals. So it's extremely popular. It makes sense. I think everybody understands property. Everybody knows there's something special happening in Dubai, and everyone wants to take part in that, but they might not be able to come here and buy a house. Also, coming here and buying a house is not the best way to make money in Dubai property. You might hold it, you might have to hold it for years. You might buy something off plan that's not even built and you don't know if it's ever going to be built. I like to be in and out, and that's what these deals offer us, this kind of 12-month, 14-month turnaround time, which is an incredible way to get your capital back. So I want to talk about it tonight. If you got Vladimir, great to see you as well. Thank you for coming tonight. It's great that I've had a bunch of chats with you guys, and Mark has as well, so great to see some beautiful faces. I'm going to jump in here. Last chance to turn cameras on before we toss you out. And I'm going to jump into this presentation. It's hot off the presses. And here we go. Just raise your hands if you can see this pretty happy guy here looking out across his future real estate empire. That's me. And the truth is that Dubai luxury property just hit record highs. I'm going to share with you some headlines. And I'm going to show you how the smart investors are winning big. And of course, what we're looking for on the inside is that I don't want to show you a deal that's not going to make you 40 to 90%. That's kind of the thresholds that we're looking at right here to open things up. Just a couple of headlines that have been popped in the last couple of days. On the right here, Semaphore just said it plainly. Dubai luxury property market hits record highs in 2025. That headline's literally from days ago. And here's the one on the left. I was actually just searching Dubai luxury property news. I wasn't even looking for people that do luxury transformations. And all of a sudden this article came up, and it was a random article that said Dubai luxury surge as Palm Jumeirah villa bought for $3 million sells for $6.5 million in 13 months. Now I got my quick calculator out and did the math. That's 118% return. So when a lot of you are sending me messages saying, Brian, come on, 40 to 90% returns, you must be joking, go back to Wall Street, stop dreaming. I'm like, okay, here's some random headline of somebody that just made 118. And you're telling me that I can't bring you 60, 70, 80, 90% returns? Of course we can. And that's what we're trying to do here. The time is now. This window is only going to be open for a few years, I believe. And we're going to be here taking advantage of it in a big way. Folks, before we get started, I just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only, not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you a free video, and it's going to show you how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you a link to this at the end. It's a free video. You can go watch this after the presentation. Who is Brian Rose, right? That's what my mom used to say when I was acting out bad. The truth is I spent 15 years on Wall Street. I started at a company called Bankers Trust in 1993, and I was a derivatives trader. I was one of those rocket science kids they hired from MIT to come up and run their derivatives models. And I traded a whole lot of bonds and futures contracts. I ended up moving to First National Bank of Chicago. Then I moved to London. I spent time in Tokyo, and I worked in the capital markets. And I'll tell you what I learned. I learned one thing, is that the people that make the money, it's not about what school you went to. It's not about even how much money you bring to the table. It's about access. If you can access the hot deals, you can make money. And that's why I'm here in Dubai. And that's why you're here. Because of London Real and our media empire, we're getting these deals. And because you are a loyal fan of London Real, we're reaching out to our family. We're reaching out to people that have been to our website, that have watched our episodes for years, and asking if you want to be involved. Now, we've done this before, and I'll share you this. We've raised and invested $25 million of capital into the blockchain market, and now we're doing the same model in property, and it's been incredible. So that was me. First 15 years of Wall Street, I learned how capital flows. I traded stocks, bonds, commodities, equities, you name it. And then, of course, in 2010, 2011, I quit my job to become a YouTuber, as my kids say. And for the last 15 years, we've had over 1 billion views on YouTube, over 5 million followers worldwide. We got in a lot of trouble. We pushed back. We fought for freedom of speech. They closed us down. They brought us back, but we never, ever wavered from our core values. All right. And let me tell you, it was not a nice time when YouTube deplatformed us for 25 months. We were in the dark. And I'm telling you, if you want to know something, censorship works. They might as well have taken me out in the backyard and dug me a hole and put me in the hole, because when they turn off YouTube, nobody knows you exist, right? And so we just decided not to participate in their deplatforming, and we just kept going. Now we're back, and it's nice to be exonerated and show that what we were doing was actually the right thing. And on the other side of it, people now know that we stand for something. And, if you don't stand for something, then, why are you here on this planet? And we're all about decentralization, transparency, freedom of speech, and the freedom to put your capital where you want to put it. So look, I've been blessed to interview over 1,000 of the greatest minds on the planet the last few years. And the last 5 years, I've been coming to Dubai and studying it up close. And I was blown away ever since I got here. I always thought there was something special about this place. It's got an energy. All the movers and shakers move here. It's full of hustlers. People are working 24/7 like me. And I love it that everyone's on. I don't care if you're an Uber driver, if you're the Deliveroo guy, if you work if you're a billionaire here, everybody's hustling. Even if you're the royal family, man, they get up and they hustle. And that's what I like about this place. And so now we're taking our core media platform and we're using it to source deals and to give those opportunities to people like you. Look, folks, I've been blessed. I got to hang out with some of the greatest minds over the last few years, especially in real estate. Does anyone know Grant Cardone here? Picture here when we both were maybe a little bit younger. Grant's a legend in real estate. He actually has now $5 billion under management. I met him when he had less than $1 billion. I've interviewed Grant, his wife, his pilot. I know the whole crew, and I'm a big fan, and he's been a great inspiration behind the scenes. How many people here know Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Anybody know this guy? Amazing dude. Reread that book if you get a chance. Robert's become a great friend. I first interviewed him, I think, maybe 10 years ago, and now we've become great friends. We've hung out on 4 different continents. He's invited me to his events. We've done all sorts of things together, and this guy knows about real assets. Robert doesn't invest in anything that's fake, only real. And that means real estate, Bitcoin, gold, right? And commodities. He doesn't trust Wall Street, neither do I. And he taught me a lot. This is Jim Rickards. He's a very famous guy, economist, and former Wall Street guy himself. He wrote a book called Currency Wars. He actually does financial war games for the US government and CIA every year, protecting them against all the things that can go wrong. And Jim has been incredible behind the scenes in always guiding us and mentoring us to make intelligent investments. And of course, some of you know Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. Raise your hand if you found Dan on my channel maybe in the last 10 years. Yeah. I like to say that I think this is the only known picture of Dan with a smile on. And who knows, maybe he knew when he was welcoming me there to his Hall of Fame up on his castle wall that maybe this was some kind of twisted payback. I don't know. That's not AI generated, by the way. And then Dan also used to say, he always likes to say that I'm about 8 inches shorter than him. But clearly, Dan, this image proves that I'm clearly even actually taller than you. So I'll just put that out there. But all jokes aside, Dan's been great. He taught me to pull the trigger. That's what he taught me. Most people sit around and they put something in a spreadsheet, and by then the deal is gone. Dan taught me one thing: the deal is hot or it's not. When you see a deal in the first 30 seconds, you know if it's hot or it's not. Just like when you see a man or a woman in the first 10 seconds, they're hot or they're not. You don't need a spreadsheet, right? And sometimes you got to go on that instinct. And he also used to tell me that high performance people make decisions based on imperfect information. If you think you're going to find out every little detail and be extra 100% sure before you go in on a deal, the deal's gone. Now, that doesn't mean you don't do your due diligence. That doesn't mean that you don't hold, your investees' feet to the fire, but that means that you also get used to taking action because that's how you win in any space. So why Dubai? Well, number one, it's really the primary destination for global wealth migration. And I'm going to show you the next slide, and it's going to blow your mind when you see the numbers. Why else? There's a severe shortage of turnkey luxury supply. What do I mean by turnkey? Well, it's kind of like the word. I turn the key, I go into the house, and everything is done. Not only is it perfectly, immaculately designed, it's furnished by the best Italian furniture and marble and appliances in the world, right? There's oftentimes a concierge service that's offered along for the first year, and they're in charge of getting the visas for your gardeners and your drivers and your maids and making sure that everything is perfect. When wealthy people move to Dubai, they don't want to look to their wife and family and say, "Oh, our villa, it's going to be under construction for the next 12 months. Don't mind the dust." Trust me, it's hard enough getting your family to come here. You want to show them the most beautiful, most Instagrammable house they've ever seen. And guess what? They're willing to pay a premium for this. Does that make sense? Jason, Vladimir, this is what we're going. This is the niche we're going in. It also means we're not really trying to time the market. Is this the high? Is this the low? I don't care. I know wealthy people want a luxury villa in 12 months' time and they're going to pay $25 million for it. Great. I'm going to build you one and you're going to pay me a premium so it's done. That's what we're doing here, folks. You get your money out quick, and we're not worried about market cycles because we're not going to be here past a year. That is the beauty of this niche. All right. Again, this is a market built for high performance returns. There's no personal tax here. Let me repeat that. And sorry to twist the knife here to those people in the UK or the US. Zero personal tax, not 30, 40, 50% wherever you live. No capital gains tax. So when you buy this luxury villa and you flip it later, government's not looking for a check. There's obviously rapid economic growth here, and it's full of cash-rich international buyers. Here's that slide I talked about earlier. Look at this. 142,000 millionaires are going to relocate last year. Look at the global millionaire migration. The number one place they go, number one in the world, is United Arab Emirates. And out of that, it's going to be mostly Dubai, right? Look all the way to the bottom of the list. And not to twist the knife here, Jason, but that's our home country of the United Kingdom. 16,500 people leaving. I don't know why you're still there. But, look, the truth is it's becoming a place that people are asking, why am I here? They're looking at the high taxes, looking at crime, look at failing health services, look at transportation, and they're like, I don't know why I'm here. And there's not too many choices. It's kind of these days, it's like Italy, Monaco, UAE. You can see that people are moving here and then moving away from the UK. I call Dubai an anti-fragile place. What do I mean by that? Whenever the world gets a shock, people move to Dubai. So what happened in COVID in 2020? When most of the world was locking down, some places more draconian than others, people moved here because they opened up quicker than anyone else. What happened when Russia invaded Ukraine? Ukrainians moved, Russians moved. What happened in the attack on Israel October 7th? People moved here. And what happened when the Labor government came in and started jacking up taxes and also changing tax status for wealthy expats? They moved here. Every time there's a shock in the world going forward, people are going to go to Dubai. Dubai continually wins over and over and over again. And that's why we're investing here, folks. There's no rocket science to it. We all know this is true. The last thing I would say is that this is where all the wealthy people put their money. And so there's an inherent guarantee not to mess with this place, all right? Because everybody in the surrounding region puts all their money here. It's like the Switzerland of the Middle East. So the last thing anybody wants to do is to mess with this place because it literally affects their own capital reserves. Does that make sense to everybody? This is the kind of stuff I glean when I'm on the ground. When people pull me aside and they say, Brian, you realize that, you got Iran, you got Saudi, all these places, they have their money here. The last thing they're going to do is lay a finger on this place. So there's all sorts of implicit guarantees. Of course, there's no guarantees in life. And of course, there's no reward without risk. But there's a lot of things going for keeping this place safe. So what's a luxury transformation? I alluded to it, but let's get into there. It's fairly simple. It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. All right. And I'm going to show you one of the case studies recently on the Palm, and I'll give you an exact idea. But we're basically going and buying basically an old luxury property. Now, it's possible that you and I wouldn't know the difference between a 15-year-old luxury property and a state of the art. But if you have houses around the world worth 10, 15, 20, $25 million, when you walk in, you know what's good and you know what's not. And if you don't, your wife does. All right. And so you can't play games with these people. You can't, paint over some cracks. You got to deliver top of the line or they're not going to buy it. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to buy something that is in a prime location, but it's a little past its due date. We're going to do very little structural increases, and we're going to make cosmetically it the most beautiful place you've ever seen. It's designed to match exactly what global buyers want. All right. And that strategy in itself unlocks significant value. And that's why that's exactly what we're going with now. We're not buying off-plan houses. We're not buying stuff that's being built in Abu Dhabi. We're not buying stuff in Jebel Ali, the new Palm Island. No, that's not. And who knows? In a few years, we might look at it if it makes money for us. But right now, we're focusing on what has a great track record of making money. Why does this have significant value? Number one, quick turnaround times. It's hard to overestimate that. We've had projects with our current developers. They finished in 8 months. Some 10 months, some 12 months, some 14 months. So quick turnaround time, which means high annualized ROIs, return on investments. And of course, high performance returns on the back of it. A lot of times we're even selling the house while we're building it, or even sometimes as you buy the old house, you can actually sell the new one to people that know what you're going to deliver. Folks, I'm going to play with you a quick video. Again, 40 to 90% returns are something that when I was on Wall Street, you just never see. And again, a lot of people doubted us when we started this a little while back and said that's not possible. But now you see headlines where there's people getting 118% returns. And so I just want to play for you a quick video because sometimes a video is actually better to give you an idea of what we're doing here. And this is what we're up to.
Dubai real estate is exploding. And the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking. In premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today.
All right, boom. That gives you a little flavor of what we're doing. Like I said, this series is coming out soon. I think you'll really enjoy it because you'll get to see exactly what we're doing behind the scenes. Of course, most of you will probably already be invested at that point. So this is what we see here. Again, I've been coming here for 5 years. I always was fascinated by the buildings, and now I kind of know what we're going to do about it. Folks, this is a case study that our developer recently completed, and it's pretty simple. This is the Palm Jumeirah, the famous island or group of fronds that was literally created from nothing in the sea that Dubai became famous for when it started this about 20 years ago. But let's be honest, these villas are a little tired after 20 years. Okay, but the location is sick and you got your own beachfront. It's prime location. I'm staying actually right on one of those buildings in the background there on the right side next to the big Ferris wheel. That's where I am. Simple math, folks. They acquired this property for $7.1 million. Renovations and permits, 6.3. Total investment cost was 13.4. They flipped this thing 12 months later for $25.9 million, made the investors a 93.8% profit. I mean, it's that simple, and it's also not that simple, right? You got to have a team that can go in, like a team of Navy SEALs, drop in there, not miss a single day, and not waste any time. And that's how you're going to get returns like this. But this is exactly the type of thing that we're doing. We're doing it in locations all over the city. Folks, here's the big news. Dubai luxury property markets hit record high in 2025. And again, I zoomed in on this article here. And again, the city recorded 500 sales worth more than $10 million in 2025. This has really come into its own. But if you think about it, it's only 500. And so that probably meant how many over 20 million? 100? So in a weird paradoxical way, there's not enough ultra luxury supply for this city. Now you see all the videos of Dubai and you see the bling, but that's not ultra luxury bling. Okay, there's luxury and there's ultra luxury. And there actually just isn't enough supply. In fact, the guy we're working with said, Brian, I had people come here 4 or 5 years ago, billionaires. They didn't move here because they could not find a suitable property. They couldn't find anything nice enough. So this is actually fairly new to even have this supply. There it is, 70 properties worth at least 25 million. It's right there in black and white or blue. And again, there's this big record here of the 6-bedroom penthouse that sold for $150 million, and I'll feature that soon. $9 billion in prime sales last year. Ultra rich are buying homes. Now, I don't know how many more times you want me to show you, but this is what's happening. Of course, you mentioned the Palm deal. I mentioned the Palm deal earlier. This is the article I found in Arabian Business, up 118%. Of course, Bugatti, Mercedes-Benz, and Lamborghini are all creating their own branded towers. This isn't something you see in any other city around the world, but it's a thing in Dubai. And Mercedes-Benz just announced their building. It's like not one building, it's 14 buildings. Crazy, crazy. They did the announcement. They had a drone show at night at the presentation, and they're building all this luxury supply. But we're actually building something even more premium than this. And of course, this is the record $150 million penthouse. That's dollars ever, highest ever and highest per square foot ever sold in the UAE and the Middle East. And the property is now set for a sustained boom, expected to go from 45 billion in 25 to 71 billion in 2030. The population is increasing at a steady 5% rate. And no, that's not due to unchecked immigration for our friends in the UK, the Europe, and the US. It's actually 5% is increasing by ultra high net worth, ultra capable people. That's why this city is awesome to be in. And of course, luxury property prices set to rise as the $10 million home sales surge by 54%. So that's that many more $10 million plus home sales. And of course, now Dubai outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. It's the place everybody wants to be. More headlines, huge news, transactions up 31%. It just keeps going up and up and up. The latest deal. This is the deal we're closing out now. 40 to 60% projected returns. And we've got a tiny piece left. I think I've got 50K left. Anybody joining next, I'm going to offer them a piece of that. And we're going to wrap this thing up shortly. Folks, these kinds of returns are incredible. It's just something that you don't see on a regular basis. And again, coming from Wall Street, I really know that. So how does London Real get access to these deals? I'll tell you, it's not my pretty smile and it's not my fancy suits. It really comes down to one thing. They want exposure on our global media platform. If it wasn't for London Real, I couldn't show you these opportunities. But by accessing this platform, we're going to give the deal exposure. And the crazy thing is that we're probably going to make you more money on the final sale. And so these developers are looking to us and they don't see just, another few $1 million in a property deal. They see global access, and that's what we're bringing them. And so I like to say that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. I've been preparing for this, you could say for 15 years with London Real, but maybe for the last 30 years, because I started investing with Wall Street. Now we bring media to it. I call this media-powered investment platform. No one's ever done this before. We're really pioneers in the space. And it works both ways. We can bring you in as a London Realer, and we can bring them in who want that media exposure. Look, folks, a lot of you felt like Drake on the top here. You tried to invest in property on your own. Maybe you bought that second home you wanted to flip, and maybe you end up fixing toilets on a Sunday. I don't know how you do it, honestly. But there's a painful way to do this, and there's a painless way to do this. I personally have no interest in trying to juggle homes and flip houses and fix sinks on the weekends. No thanks. There's a better way, and that is investing alongside us in London Real. You put money in an SPV, that's it. You don't have to fix the property. You don't have to sell the property. You don't have to see the property if you don't want to. And that's why I'm here on the ground. There's no way I would do this if I wasn't here in Dubai, because my job is to be here on the ground, protecting everyone's interests, including our own and our reputation, because I put my whole reputation on the line when we invest in one of these projects. And I'm going to take that very, very seriously. Look, folks, if you want to join, it's simple. It's really at this website, londonreal.tv/Dubai. A lot of you have already been here. And, it's really one of the most incredible opportunities we've ever provided people. I've seen a lot of interest in our products over the years, but never so much as this, because I think everybody inherently understands property. And I think everybody inherently knows there's something special happening in Dubai. There's something special happening here, and we got to take advantage of it. So if you're interested, go to londonreal.tv/Dubai. And you can apply. It takes about 20 or 30 seconds. First name, last name, email. Give us a range of what you want to invest, and give us 10 or 20 words why you want to join the circle. Then my team starts doing research on you. And we look into all of your darkest secrets, right? We go and find all the episodes you watched on London Real, find out how long you supported us, find out if you've ever taken any of my courses in the past, and we find out if we think that you can work well with the team. Honestly, I'm too old to get some nonsense in my group. I'm too old to put up with a bunch of BS. So if we even think there's a chance that you're not going to really be a long-term fit, you're gone. But if you're accepted, it means we think you should be in here, and we're giving you lifetime access to this deal flow, which again is just incredible. Folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London. I ran in 21 after lockdown and after we were censored by all the trillion-dollar platforms and by the UK government and by BBC. Don't get me started. And I ran on a pro-freedom, pro-crypto standpoint, right? I really wanted to change the city that gave me so much. I'm a citizen in the UK. I spent 20 plus years. My kids were born there. And up until a few years ago, I was planning on being buried there. But the truth is that now I'm really, I found the place that I think is more aligned with my values. And that's why we moved here. And this is me with our studio here. I call it London Real in Dubai. I've been coming here for the last few years, interviewing some of the top people here. This is Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni. He runs a blockchain center, the AI Center. He gave me my golden visa, gave it to me. I didn't have to invest $1 million or $100,000 or $10,000. He said, Brian, we want Brian Rose of London Real in Dubai. Here's your 10-year golden visa. Are you kidding me? I mean, Jason, I never got a call from anybody in the UK government. This is after I ran for government. This is after I spent millions, maybe many millions of tax revenue. No one ever said, thanks, Brian. Here, they literally go out of their way and they say, we want people like you here because you bring value. I'll be honest, I feel a debt of gratitude to this place. I feel like I want to continue to show people this place is great and I want to make this place great. And that's just a personal thing. I do feel some reciprocity and I love the locals. I love the people here because it's 90% immigrants, you know? And I just love the vibe. Everybody wants to help you and things move at the speed of light. Folks, this is me with Carl Moon. He's a Bitcoin billionaire and, has a Bugatti and, a few luxury properties as well. And I've been blessed to spend time with a lot of wealthy people here, especially in the blockchain space. And this is Chris MM Crypto. Again, he has one of those luxury villas in the Palm. And, I've found that I can now understand what luxury really is by hanging around with a lot of these people. Folks, we're currently investing over $3 million into 6 of these luxury refurbishment deals this quarter. All right. We're going to become major players in this business, and we'd love for you to come along for the ride. And it's all because of this, London Real Ventures. It's the world's first media-powered investment firm. No one's ever taken, a 15-year-old media company with 1 billion views, 1,000 interviews, 5 million subscribers, and combined it with a venture capital firm with $25, $50, $100 million in capital. When you put these things together, magic happens. And for the past 4 years, that magic has looked like this. This is over 100 different blockchain and artificial intelligence companies we've invested in. Some have already become billion and 2 billion plus protocols, making my members a boatload of money. And of course, this is one of the deals, Skillful AI. We did a 20x on launch here and made my group a $4 million profit. This is Shrapnel. We did a 20x here in 20 days and made a $5 million profit for my group. This is Mochaverse, up 20x and going even higher. This is Story Protocol, one of our big wins. And one of our members of the property circle, his name is Jose, he put $50,000 in this deal, and now he's sitting on a cool $2 million profit. Quite a few of our members did that, and we made a $21 million profit here. And of course, this is a $1 billion fund we invested in, already returned 4x to us, soon to be 8x, and we're actually investing another $1 million in this fund. So this ain't our first rodeo. We've done this before, but this is the first time we're branching into property, which is lower risk and lower return than crypto, but it makes a great addition to a portfolio, and I'll address that shortly. We've now invested over $25 million in over 100 different deals. And like I said, the world kind of knows us now as this media-powered investment firm. I was voted Best Venture Capitalist of the Year last year. I picked up this award when I was in Singapore. And yes, that is my pink suit. It's a long story, but true. The Global Family Office Summit last year gave me a Lifetime Achievement Award for our investments in our media. And of course, a lot of people here in Dubai know me for crypto, but they know me for actually getting in the ring. And every now and then, one of these punk kids talks a little trash, Jason, and I got to lace up the gloves and, teach him a few lessons. The first one was 27 years old. This latest kid was 19. I was like, cut me a break. I just turned 54. But it's all right. Line him up and knock him down. I think I'm back in there May 1st to do it again. The crazy part is that this actually gets us exposure and gets us deal flow. So how can we maximize our investment returns? Well, I don't know if you know Ray Dalio, but he's an OG in the investing space. And he said diversification is the holy grail of investing. What does that mean? Well, it means that a balanced portfolio actually has a mix. And this is a typical investment portfolio. You've got some people with some fixed income, some equity, some cash, some real estate, and some crypto. She looks like one of our investment club members' portfolio. And all I'm saying is that take your real estate that you might have in your own family home or maybe a second home and move some of that allocation into Dubai high yield. Keep the crypto. I think both work hand in hand, but also stay diversified. Never put 100% of your money in real estate, crypto, fixed income, equities, or cash. You're just asking for trouble. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. I could be in London right now complaining that somebody just snatched my phone, that somebody just took my $1 million watch, and that labor is increasing my taxes, and I could cry over the fact that my tube terminal in Old Street hasn't been cleaned since 1965. All right. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come to Dubai and create wealth for our people. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to vote with my feet. And maybe this is a statement I'm making to the British government. Yes, Brian Rose is moving to Dubai because there's better options. Maybe they'll listen. Maybe they'll change things. But I'm going to go create those opportunities. And that's what we believe in. Folks, this is Ben Bandari. I had him on the show just a few weeks ago. He is the top real estate broker here in Dubai, and he's actually the star of $1 Million Listing UAE. This is a reality show that just got their second season done. He brought this show actually to the city 5 years ago through a lot of hard work, and people really know this guy. He's on all the posters out here now, and the second season hit. It's a huge, huge hit, and it's right when the record property boom is taking center stage. And I sat down with Ben, and I said, Ben, why Dubai? He came here from Toronto 20 years ago. And he came through the 2008 financial crisis, which hurt the whole world and really hurt Dubai a lot. Like everything just paused here, and he stayed with it, and he kept going. And I said to Ben, why are you here? And why is Dubai the place that you tell people to keep coming? And he talked to me about it, and he told me why he thinks that this is the place that people keep coming. And that's the beautiful thing of having a podcast is I can actually show everybody what people are thinking here on the ground. And this is what Ben told me.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
Boom, there he is. Safety, security, stability. It pretty much says it. The royal family really has a vision for this place, and that's what people want. They want to come here, and they want to find a place where they can raise their money, raise their families, and make a lot of money, and live great lives. Takeaways from Ben, number 1, Dubai has safety and security. What more could you want? When you look at the United States, the UK, Europe, other places around the world, they can't even say that simple thing. It's still a potentially dangerous place to be. Leadership attracts investment. We want someone with a 100-year plan, not a 4-year plan. That's what you get with the UK government. That's what you get in America. No one thinking long term. And everybody really is in it for their own gain, as we see with all the $100 million portfolios from senators and congressmen in America. Everybody's in it for themselves. The leaders here are trying to build their own nation. And so they're really invested in this place. 0 personal taxes, and it's a playground for the wealthy. Folks, how do we create outsized returns in real estate? It's simple. It's called deal flow. All right. You can get into a lot of nonsense here in property. You can lose money real easy in property here, right? Because people come here and they just don't know what the hell they're doing. But if we're very careful about choosing the right deals with the right partners, with the right time frames, that's how we're going to make these outsized returns. And again, I've been coming here for the last 5 years. I built up relationships with people all over here. From the crypto bros to members of government to venture capitalists, influencers. I started to hang out with the people, interview them on stage. I premiere our films here. And, I'm now hanging out with billionaires and decabillionaires and centibillionaires like CZ here at Binance. And you really start to get a feel of what they want and why they're here and what they're willing to buy. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're building their future homes. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. Well, we're trying to get you these deals that have crazy returns. And by the way, we try to be very conservative. I'm trying to really to underpromise and overdeliver. And so what we want to do is just show you, because everyone needs to be shown. I don't care if you put in 10K on the first deal or 100K or $1 million. We gotta show you. And once you see what we can do, I think you're going to keep coming back for more. I'll be honest, what I really want to do is compound this over 3, 4, 5 years. If I can compound a 50, 70% return for 5 years in a row, I mean, that's like 3, 4 extra money if you do the math. That starts to get very, very interesting. This is our investor portal. Once you become a member, you log in here, you fill out a survey for us, and then you jump in and you can start asking for allocation on our deals. It's that simple. You've got to also understand the financial tools. This is very important here. We are using SPVs. How many people here know what an SPV is? Hands up. Heard of one? Connie knows. Vladimir knows. Yeah, it stands for a special purpose vehicle, and it's basically a standalone legal entity. So the owners like you own the assets, including the underlying property. You own it, while you isolate all the risk from your personal wealth and you isolate everyone else's personal risk from you. It's a ring-fence structure, provides stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, and it's easier for financing and partnerships. And that's the only way we're doing this. This is actually our SPV and our KYC platform. So once you come in, I'll give you access to this platform. You'll upload your documentation. You'll be KYC. You'll say how much money you in. Boom, we submit it, and the deal's locked in. Nice and simple, completely transparent. Folks, how do you create generational wealth? You got to pull the trigger. The last thing you need to do right now is watch another video on Dubai property. The last thing you need to do is listen to another podcast. You need to pull the trigger. That's the only way you're going to learn, is by taking action. Guys like Dan Pena, Grant Cardone taught me this, Robert Kiyosaki, right? Sitting there and having an opinion and researching something to death. Dan Pena says, research is procrastination in disguise. There's something to that. The best way to do this is to get involved. Timing matters. If you wait, you're going to miss this. Once my SPVs expand, they can't expand once they're filled. Once we have enough money to refurb the property, you can't get an extra 500 grand in there. It's over. Early investors, I'm giving priority. The deals are closing fast. And once the allocations are gone, they're gone. So if we have a pace to ourselves, if we're trying to make this fast, it's because the market's flowing very fast here when I'm on the ground. Very fast. People don't sleep. There's people are working 24/7 here. I love it because I'm working 24/7 and people here are going all the time. This is for serious investors who want access, not theory, right? I'm not here to provide an education platform, right? I've done that before and that's useful, but this is about deal access. This is about people that they see it's hot. They want in. Show me the deals, Brian. Show me the returns, right? Prove it to me. You got 12 months. Show me 50%. You do that, you got me. Great, let's do it. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to prove ourselves. And from there, I want to keep rolling these deals and make everybody wealthy. You want real assets. You don't want speculation. You don't want things that haven't been built yet. You want audited outcomes, transparency, and access to real opportunities. That's what we're doing. And so what I can say is apply now. It's that simple. It takes 20 seconds. Some of you have already applied. Some of you have been accepted. In your case, join. It's that simple. Join. It's a private membership. It's a lifetime membership. I thought long and hard about that. We actually opened this about a month ago with that being an annual membership. And I said to myself, you know what? I want people that want to be with us for a long time. I want 20-year partners. So I'm going to make this as simple as possible. 10K gets you in. From there, you get as many deals as you want, right? But if you want to be in and not try to become part of the club, go somewhere else. I want to see you're committed. I want to see that you're not wasting my time as well. Because if you join, then you're not going to be wasting our time. And that means that, man, if you don't waste my time, you got all my time. But I don't want someone coming in and saying, yeah, I really want to invest, Brian, but I don't want to join. Tell you what, save it. I'm going to focus on the London realtors that can understand an opportunity like that. Look, this is a pathway to premium opportunities. It's just a chance to build real wealth. It really is. And again, you can invest as little as 10,000. Most of our members are actually doing usually minimum 25, 50s, but whatever you feel comfortable with, it's fine. Apply now, LondonReal.tv/Dubai, or if you're already accepted, just join. It's very easy. You click on the link, you're in. As soon as you're in, I'll get you into the portal. You'll fill out about an eight question survey. I want you to watch a video that's going to describe the current deal. Tell me if you want in on that deal. If you do, great, I'll get you in. If not, fine, get ready for what's coming next. And again, this is the most powerful money making opportunity I've ever seen. When it comes to risk reward, it's the most powerful thing I've ever seen, right? I've seen things that can return a lot more, 10x on your money, but there's much higher risk. This is inherently very low risk because we own the underlying property and we're not betting on a long market cycle. We're betting on a 12-month cycle. By the way, the people we're working with are some of the best brokers in Dubai. They can move properties like this, all right? So we're not subject to somebody else helping us sell these things. We can do it ourselves. Folks, here's the bonus I promised you. Go to lonereal.tv/replay, and it'll play this video for you. So enjoy that. And that's it, folks. I'd love to answer any questions for you. Was that helpful to everybody here? Jason, Patrick, Vladimir, was just getting you up to speed. Or Camilla's showing me her good-looking thumb there. I like that. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat or send them to Mark, and he can send them to me as well. Honestly, I've run a few of these master classes, and I've fielded the questions, and I tried to build them back in the presentations. I think that's everything. If it looks simple, it's because I wanted this to be simple, right? I wanted this just to be such a no-brainer. It's like, if you get it, you get it. You're like, yeah, Brian, I'm in. I want to do this. Here's 10 grand, blow me away, and then we'll go from there. Cool, deal, let's do it. And I'll bring you along the process the whole way. By the way, we've got an investor day here on April 27th, where you're welcome to come, hang out with me. We'll visit our properties. And if you haven't been to Dubai before, if you have, I'll show you around, and it's going to be great. So I got people from the club already booking their tickets, and that's just kind of an extra bonus there. I don't see any questions coming in, so I'm going to wrap it. Folks, really appreciate you being here. It really helps. Camera's on. I appreciate all your energy. Look, just as a quick aside, I'm having fun. This is what I love doing. I love doing deals. I love creating opportunities. I love this city. And I love betting on this city. For the longest time, I thought, if I want to bet on Dubai, how do I make money on that? Where do I place the bet? In the local stock market? Not really. And then it hit me one day. It was like, it's the property, stupid. It's right in front of your face every day. And so this is my way of going all in on Dubai. And now not only am I going to benefit from my own lifestyle, but now we can bring a lot of people with it and capitalize on it too. So this is just a lot of fun for me. I'm really enjoying this. It's great being around the people, and it's great getting really high quality London realtors into this circle. And they're just really amazing people in here. And I think we're going to be together for a long time, making a lot of money. So that's it. You guys know Mark. A lot of you have reached out to Mark, and a lot of you have also are WhatsApping me as well. If we can answer any questions for you, great. But the truth is, stop asking questions and join. And then we'll bring you on the inside, and you know what to do. So let's do that. I appreciate all of you. And that's it, folks. We'll see you on the inside.